As a DV lottery winner, do you choose the state you want to go to live, or does the government choose it for you? Question number one. Question number two is, if I arrive in state A, am I allowed to move to another state? And if so, after how long staying in one state I can move to another state? These two questions are very, very important because people should know where to go to live and how the process of staying from one state and another restrictions apply. To go very straight to this one is like this way. Number one, the US government doesn't choose, doesn't determine, doesn't decide, doesn't force you where you want to go to live. In the DS-260 form, the visa application form, you are going to fill the address where you are the one choosing where you want to go to live. Where do you want to go to stay? That's why we call a host. For those, if you don't have your own apartment, which is in your case, you have to find a host. So where are you going to stay? You are the one is indicating. There are some people have 3-4 options of people who are able to host them. So they can choose more options. But if you come to America and you have one option of going to New York, by default you go to New York. If someone is in Hawaii is going to host you, obviously you'll go to move to stay in Hawaii. So you don't have much of the option. It will depend on you and your connection to find a host. Whether it's one person or different people, and choose among which state is better for you, that's up to you. That's number one. On the question number two is, the government doesn't restrict you where you are going to stay after arriving in America. You can arrive on day one in Missouri. Next week, you can get into the bus, into the plane, into the train to go to another state in Kentucky or going to California, any state you want. There is no restriction on that. The card will be sent to the address you told them. The address, the card will be sent. So you can go and the card will follow you, or you can wait until you get the card, then you can move. There is no problem with that. Let me be clear on that area. But there is a regulation. There is a law which says any green card holder, it doesn't matter whether you go to by marriage, it doesn't matter whether you go to by lottery, whether you go to by employment, whatever the case, you go to the green card. But if you are a permanent resident in the United States, when you move from one address to another address, within 10 business days, you must notify immigration, USCIS, that I have moved from apartment A or house A to house B. Whether it is the same street but different house number, or completely from one region or to another region, or from one state to another state, they don't care. You must change the address within 10 days. You can change using a phone call, you can change using the website, you can change it through, there is a way online you can be able to do whatever it is. There are 3 or 4 ways you can change the address. Failure to change the address, you can be jailed or deported in your own country. I've never seen any person being deported to their country just because they didn't change the address. But the law is the law. Ignorance of the law is not the defense. If they want to deport you, yeah, they can deport you or they can put you in jail. So don't do that. When you change the address, make sure that you update. Until you become a US citizen, you don't need to notify anybody under the immigration because it doesn't affect you at all. So those are 2 important quick questions. I want to make sure that you can find where you want to stay. People, they can go to bigger state, maybe for more opportunities. They find out the cost of living is higher. Let me go to another state. You can find a way on moving to another state. There is no restrictions. So don't assume that because I arrived in Maryland, I have to stay in Maryland for the rest of my life. No. You can find a jobs everywhere, wherever you go or you get a job and you can start the new life, you can go and start your own life.